in 1998. Well, really I experienced it in 2004. I was an employee of State Farm Insurance in Monroe, Louisiana. I was going to college at night. I was married. I had a child. I went through a career training center program. I was one of the main people. I got my friend Heather into it. She had been married to a police officer that was beating her, Yolanda Foster. Anyway, 1998, we did this career training center, and it was basically a welfare reform return to work program. It grew out of federal legislation such as the Welfare Reform Act and the Workforce Investment Act. Okay, the regional vice president, Guy Barr, ran for mayor of Monroe, Louisiana. Okay, I was moving up in this. I went up. I did a lot of stuff for the people in the Christmas and everything such as that nature. I did Guy Barr's campaign for mayor of Monroe, Louisiana. Jamie Mayo was his opponent. He sent out racist propaganda on Guy Barr. Guy Barr lost the election to Jamie Mayo, who stayed in power for over 20-something years. After the campaign and after State Farm stated that they were moving from Monroe, Louisiana, I was set to either go to Tulsa, Oklahoma or Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Okay? The purpose of me going there, I was going to actually learn to be an agent. I was already taking my insurance classes. I was really good at it, very knowledgeable. I'm a very good person. I'm not a bad person at all, you guys. Basically what happened, they made me start putting my child into a counseling system at the school. And this was through Jamie Mayo's friends. They forced me to medicate my child, and it was way too high dosage for his age and his weight. It did start having effects on him. Well, then he started making statements as in his stepfather molested him. This did not start until right after the campaign and right after State Farm announced that they were going to be leaving Monroe, Louisiana. The state worker, because of what was said by my son, I was not there to verify it. I was going to night school. Because of what my son said, I was told by the state that I had to divorce my husband or they would take my child from me. I had had a daughter with my husband at that time. Now, my mother is a narcissist. She intentionally called CPS on me on a regular basis. So I was fearful of the state. Well, I filed for divorce, and at that point, when I filed for divorce, I was unable to leave Morehouse Parish due to the pending court proceedings. My life was destroyed. I was not able to pursue my career. My college actually turned into fraud because I was doing the night school as part of Guy Barr's campaign. And although they knew that I wasn't going the next semester and that State Farm was moving, they went ahead and submitted it, and I didn't know to cancel the classes. So therefore, there's a student loan in effect now that's about $20,000 for $4,000 that was stolen back when I was in college, when all this happened. Jamie Mayo stayed in power for 22 years. And I rallied really, really hard for Friday Ellis to become mayor of Monroe because I do feel like I was politically targeted, and the CPS and the state, the judges, were used to do that to me. I sat in a law firm for multiple years, and when my boss He was loyal. He was a good boss. I was a very loyal employee. I sat there and raised my kids. I divorced my husband. And when he retired, I moved to Cheyenne, Wyoming. And I was finally able to work a real job. And I was able to rise above. And I was able to get my son off the medicine that he stayed on. His brain is permanently affected. My daughter was targeted as soon as I came back to Bastrop, Louisiana. There were falsified absences. There was falsified records. She got thrown. They didn't have enough suspensions to expel her. They expelled her anyway. They put her into a program. They falsified attendance. The woman was a friend of my mother's. It was a nightmare, you guys. But I just want people to know that people are politically targeted. When you do campaigns, when they use these young people to do campaigns and whatnot, they are targeted. Chance Oliver, his brother died. His mother was a State Farm employee as well. He did the jingle for Morehouse Parish on the radio and the campaign. He did just a jingle, music. He was musically inclined. He ended up in prison for molestation that probably didn't occur. I'm just letting you know that. It's kind of difficult to talk about it nowadays because I'm 44 years old now, and coming to terms with what was done to me in 2015, it makes me sick to my stomach that people would use their positions of authority and power to hurt people for political purposes. That a judge actually did that recently. The father that the state made me divorce because of the statements made by my son that may or may not have happened. Like I said, I was in college. I couldn't back it up or deny it. I didn't like him. I mean, he was sorry, but I couldn't say he did what my son had claimed he did. He was on so much medication and doped up during that time that I don't know what was real and what wasn't. I mean, I had a mother that could have been putting that in his head. I don't know if the counselor wasn't putting that in his head because he was guilty of Medicaid fraud. Not to mention, they have permanently damaged my son. It was political targeting. I was prevented from leaving Morehouse Parish and pursuing my dreams because of greedy people. They knew that I was going to rise up. It makes me angry, but I feel like I need to use it to point out to others how certain people are targeted. They intentionally go after influential children or anyone that's tied to generational wealth. They try to get them addicted to drugs. They try to get them in compromising positions. And when you're young, you don't know any better. I was a ward of the court, and then I was sex trafficked. They got their victims from the court list. I want people to understand that because it's sickening what has been done to our youth over the years. Not just myself, because I'm healed. I'm over it. I still rise above it, and I have throughout all of it. Getting Friday Ellis elected was like, you just don't know. I cried. I literally cried because I suffered so many years just for doing a political campaign for Guy Barr. Me being in charge of the Career Training Center and implementing that. My friend Heather, she was getting beat by a police officer, her husband. She was a Smith. Yolanda came from straight up poverty. These girls were like in dire need, and I was able to pick them out and select them and help them. And it was a wonderful, wonderful thing. I said something in this that Upchurch, he wrote a song, and I promise you, it resonated. It took me right back to this part right here. I said, imagine you're starting out in life. You get in a car, you're going down the road. The road starts to get muddy. You're working crazy hours trying to make ends meet. You probably have a child or two on the trip. Then you get stuck. It seems like the harder you try to make ends meet, the further you sink. You want to do better, but you just can't for various reasons. Then the Career Training Center taps on your window and holds up a big board. The Career Training Center sticks that board under your tire to lift you up out of that rut. All you have to do is give it gas. It's up to you how much further down the road you get. I want you to take advantage, full advantage of this program. Do everything you can. I promise it works. There will be challenges, but this is your ticket out of that rut. I learned insurance education. I was going to college. I was doing trash pickups. I was out there, you guys. And it was all destroyed because I helped do Guy Barr's campaign for mayor. And like I said, I can't tell you if it was done by the counselor. I can't tell you if it really happened. I can't tell you if my mother put it in his head. To this day, it haunts me because I don't know. And Lane, nothing you hear from Lane could ever really be accurate during that time frame, just due to the amount of the pharmaceuticals that he was being doped up with. I mean, a variety. And it permanently affected him. So when you ask why I'm so against the state and CPS and the judicial system, there's your answer.